Dude, how am I? Let me think for a sec. How am I? It annoys me when someone asks me and I know they mean it, and I feel like I have the same answer, which is tired.
I was gonna say you look a little tired. Normally you don't.
Yeah.
You come in pretty good to go, but you look a little tired today.
Tired, overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm in the home stretch for my film right now, which I'm sure we'll talk about on the pod at some point. Made this really cool short film earlier on in the year, philosophical thriller. It's all coming together. I got, that's the latest. I got Michael Hatzer, who's like the colorist for Steven Spielberg, and fucking he did West Side Story and
cool.
Us and all that stuff. So he's coloring the movie, which is amazing.
Oh, nice.
But all of those last finishing touches of like, you know, that have to do with indie filmmaking that I would normally have someone else do these things to finish the movie for me.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of it.
Yeah, you're doing it.
And so I'm not, complaining. It's amazing. It's just a high pressure moment because it feels a lot like all those little minute, tiny last second details. Like, for example, last night until like, I don't know, 10:30, 11, I was emailing like down to the last millisecond notes on, with this sound to my sound guy. Like, can we get this instead? Can we try this? And it's not like that, but it feels like every single decision is either going to make or break the movie because I care about it so much, right?
It's your baby, yeah.
Yeah. It's just a lot of like that sort of like emotional pressure combined with the physical pressure of just my running around day to day that I feel is, I feel like I'm in the middle of the storm, kind of, hard to ground a little bit. I'll pay you for this session after this. I just realized as I was talking, I was like, it's pouring out of me. I needed to say to someone how I'm feeling.
Good. You gotta let it out, bro. It's a bro check for a reason.
Yeah. But yeah, to sum it up, overwhelmed, a lot going on, but it's also home stretch, and I'm buckling in, and excited to chat about stuff that has nothing to do with any of that today.
Perfect.
That's it.
Sweet.
How are you doing?
Similar.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah, come on. We live in California, bro. Yeah.
Do you know what though? I noticed this is one of my things. Like, I get a little worried about taking up too much space, so I'll tell you all that's on my mind. But then I'm scared that like we're gonna sit in it. So then I'm like, and anyway, how are you doing? What's up with you? I need to be better at that. So let me take a breath.
Yeah, just relax.
It's all good.
Good. Yeah, similar. Overwhelmed, making it work.
Yeah,
that's it, bro. Making it work. Yeah, that's it. We're all grinding.
What's new with you?
Man, I think I'm gonna flip the gym upside down, to be honest, and redo everything, and I have to find like $150,000 to do it.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't have rich friends, so I'm really creative with how I find money.
This is a message to anyone that's listening that has $1 million.
Yeah, whoever has $150,000 to invest, I'll give you a 8-9% return.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm a bootstrapping entrepreneur to the definition, bro. Like, I don't have anything. I've never have. My family is very low middle class on the totem pole. We might be from Burbank, but we're not in the studios.
Right.
My family wasn't like that. We're not directors and in unions. My brother is now, but my parents and family members, they didn't grow up that way. We did blue collar work.
Right.
So me trying to create this giant company in this big business with no money or resources it's a fun game to play.
Yeah.
Where I'm right after this podcast, meeting a contractor who's going to give me a big number that I'm not super excited about, but I need to know what that number is.
Yeah.
And I'll get 2 more numbers because I do everything in threes.
Yeah.
I think everything in threes is the way to go, because then you can kind of feel what the average is and you can figure it out. So first contractor today, but yeah, rip out the entire half of the floor. Yeah. And make more gym space, right. More toys to play with.
It's funny, what you're saying right now is like, for different reasons, I feel like it's something that I've been feeling a lot lately when like you're in the pursuit of a goal. Like, for example, with you revamping the gym, for me finishing my movie, I don't know if you get the same thing, but like the closer I am to the end, the more I feel friction. The more I'm like, fuck, I don't want, like, someone will send me a new draft of my film to look at, to give notes, and I'm like, I don't want to look at it. I'm so scared. But it's like, I feel like such a big part of, I hope this doesn't come across toxic, because I do think it's the same for women, but for me, in my sort of like inner compass, I think such a big part of being a man is to be able to face up to these things that you don't want to deal with because they're so scary.
Yeah.
But you know that that's the one thing you need to actually do to get to your goal.
Yeah, I have a saying that I all my clients know because I tell them this all the time, and it's only hard things. Like, we only do hard things.
That's what she said.
Yeah, we only do hard things, and it's because we can, though. Like, that's the thing, that when you feel that friction, I have to remind myself. It's like, man, this is so brutal. I'm like suffocating. Take a second. Like, I'm good at this. Like, I'm good at hard shit. Like, nothing easy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
I like that.
Might be a toxic mindset too. I don't really know for sure, but that's how my brain works and my inner dialogue works. Like, hey, nothing easy. We got this.
I like that, and I also like to think of it in terms of like. And I try not to become too black or white thinking with it, but I like the idea of just thinking about the alternative. Yeah. What the fuck is the alternative if I don't face the numbers, I don't look at nothing gets done. If nothing gets done, I'm miserable. Yeah. So like, and
also, like, if I'm not doing this, what would I be doing?
100%.
And I think automatically my brain automatically puts me in a cubicle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God. Like, no, bro.
Claustrophobic.
I don't want that, dude. This stress is way better than a cubicle with a computer screen.
Yeah.
Doing something for someone else, and you're just a number on a page in a company. Like,
yeah.
I usually will like quickly go there and then be like, okay, we're set. We're all good. This is great. Entrepreneurship it is. Like, creating art.
Like, I guess nothing wrong if that's the kind of life you want. That security and that safety.
Totally not. Just not for my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish it was sometimes for me. It's just not. I tried. It didn't work.
Yeah. That's funny. I think that's actually a good pivot into our episode today. Welcome back. This is the Warrior Poet Podcast.
Josh.
Cash. And today I think we thought we would discuss the topic of, or the question I should say, what would your life look like if you let your inner child run it for a day? So, inner child, I'm sure many people are familiar with that concept. The younger version of yourself, basically, that we all confront and wrestle with a lot, sometimes without realizing it. What would it look like if for a day in your current situation, they were in charge of the show? What would that look like?
Man, it's so funny. I mean, thankfully for me, like, my inner child also wanted to work out, so it'd still be like it'd still be part of my world. Like, my dad references this like thing all the time. When I was like 6 years old, we went to Muscle Beach, and there was like one of those like cardboard bodies you could put your head in. And like, I was so excited to put my head on this giant buff body, even at 6.
That's
like,
funny.
I think I liked Arnold and Sylvester Stallone growing up at the time, so like, luckily fitness would be a part of it. But man, if my inner child ran the day, we would.
You would just work out different, though.
We would wake up. It's like the day would start later than 4:30 in the morning. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't start with egg whites either. We would be having donuts and like probably looking. Man, I'm obsessed with music. As my inner child loved going to concerts with my parents, with friends. My whole childhood was music focused. I feel like I would try to be doing something chaotic with music. I can't play an instrument.
Okay. Well, maybe that would be the thing. Maybe we just pick up something.
Maybe we try to play the drums, which would be the most chaotic instrument to play.
Yeah.
And I don't have any rhythm because I'm super white. But maybe we try like guitar or something, But
that's hilarious.
We'd start with music, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's where we'd start. What about you?
I like that. What would mine look like? I think, to be honest with you, and that actually makes me happy to think I already do a lot of the things that I think my inner child would love, like climbing, for example.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I did growing up, climbing a lot of trees and all that stuff. But I think my working out might look different, Like, it's kind of like me and my best friend always joke about this. Like, kids do such funny things for no reason. Like, we all know the kid that, like, on his way to school, he's, like, walking like this, And, like, he's like,
for sure.
"Aya! Yeah." Or like, he's trying to tell you that, like, he's upset, so he's like, "Oh, don't make me mad."
Yeah.
So I think it would have a lot more of that, like, randomness. And I think as I think about it, it would have a lot less pressure. I think a lot more would revolve around the fun of something and what I want to do and feel like doing, as opposed to me putting the helmet on and plowing away at the stuff that needs to be taken down so I can go that way,
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah, I think probably climbing, probably a lot of like tapping on like someone's shoulder and being like, what's that?
Yeah, asking every question in the world.
I was always very curious. Like you'll explain something to me and you'll be proud of your answer, but I'll be like, but why? A lot of that and a lot
but
of...
that curiosity is great. Yeah. It's the best.
Yeah. One of my favorite compliments I ever received when I was at drama school was to do with curiosity. Like, you know, at the end of the semester, we had a round table kind of thing with all the students. And I had like this teacher I really looked up to that said to me, you're really curious and we really appreciate that. You feel like you're a dog, always looking and questioning and wondering. And I love that compliment so much.
Yeah.
I think it's so important.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, you just, like, it's not enough to just have someone tell you, yeah, it's blue.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it blue? Yeah, and I also think that a lot of the time, like, you know, to go back to concepts that you and I talk about a lot, like a lot of the time that's how you end up taking the road less traveled. It's because like you're not satisfied with, hey, you graduated, now you go take a job in a cubicle. This is what you do. No, you're like, okay, but what is this? Someone's doing this and making money. That's cool. Can I do that? Like, what is that? How do I do that?
Yeah, that wonder, that like big, wide open eyes, man. The world looks so different.
Yeah.
In that.
I love looking at kids looking at the world. Like when you have friends that have babies and like they look at everything like, what is that? Like even if they don't talk yet. Yeah. And that wonder kind of like, it's easy to lose, I think.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think another thing I would do is, it's funny, I watch my son, he's 6 now, and he'll just take a box and just create something really cool with a box. Just an empty box. Dude, I went home the other day and he's into Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And he was like, he's cutting all these little things out of this big cardboard box. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm making a diner. I was like, what? He's like, I'm making a diner, like Pee-wee's, like diner. I'm like, you know what a diner is? I'm like, yeah, man, I know what a diner is, bro. Like, you're making it with a cardboard box? And he cut out this whole part, and then he drew inside it tables and checkered floor and little stools. He's like, this is my diner. I was like, dude, that's amazing. Like, I wouldn't have thought to do that as like an adult, like because my brain isn't on that wavelength, that so creative wavelength.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be cool to just sit, if my inner child was running the day, and just create stuff.
Yeah.
Just random drawings.
Yeah. I think so much of the inner child stuff has to do with creating things.
Yeah.
And like just, you know, wanting to put your finger in the paint. Like what happens if I do this? Like what It'd
be so cool to do that.
I think it's because once again, like to go back to the idea of fun and no pressure, when you feel it's very hard to create something from, you know, not to get too spiritual, but I really do believe that so much of creation has kind of like an unexplainable link to the divine. And by the divine, what I mean is kind of like, you know, with athletes, for example, flow state, or like with artists, same thing, flow state. It's like, you know, regardless of what you believe in, whether it is
the muse,
God or whatever it is, exactly this idea of the muse that like, you know, you allow yourself to be the conduit, to be like taken over by something bigger than you so that you can kind of like disappear in it. In some instances, I think that can only happen from a place of having prepared enough so that you can step away and then let yourself be the conduit. But in other instances, I think it's just play and exploring and doing all that stuff. To kind of bring it back to drama school, some of my favorite classes I did were to do with animal work.
Yeah.
And I was locked in a huge theater back in Australia with, you know, 30 other kids from my year. And for 4 hours straight, we got the task to be animals. You picked the animal you were, and you just interacted as animals for 4 hours, running around a theater, picking at people's hair.
4 hours, dude.
It was like, anybody would have walked in that theater at that time, they would have been like, the fuck is going on in here? But like, there was something about it that was so freeing. And now looking back, I'm like, wow, like the privilege, like when do you get to do that in life?
Yeah, dude.
Like, it's crazy.
Real quick. What was the animal?
That I chose? I think I did a snake and a monkey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Monkey's a good choice. I would like that.
Let me tell you that the snake is good in theory until you're fucking on your front and you have nothing to move around.
Stomach, you're like, wait.
It's awful. You just become like, you know, the freaking broom for the whole space. I know.
Oh, monkey's a good one.
Monkey is a really good one.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Wolf?
A good one too.
Yeah.
Wolf's good.
Yeah. But I don't remember exactly where I was going with this, but I think this idea, of taking the pressure away so you can have fun is what leads you to the most amazing like inventions, the most amazing art, to the most amazing like new business ideas.
Yeah.
But it's just that pressure very quickly becomes the thing that like it's the box, right?
Yeah,
and in order to
totally.
have a great idea or a great innovation, you need to think outside of the box.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think there's any way to kind of pull that inner child into your daily life now? Like, is there a way we could let that part of us take over for a period
wonder,
of time?
could you look at this for a sec?
What? Oh, man. Dang. Old school.
That game to me is everything. But that's what I was going to say. Like, also, real quick, I'm fascinated by this thing because I come from a tiny little island no one knows about, and I knew this game growing up.
Dude, everyone knows that
And
game,
people, everybody
Yeah.
here knows,
That
everybody
is a
in Europe knows this
universal game, dude.
Who created this thing?
I
Like,
have
it's
no idea.
insane. Like, that's my favorite way to make like friends with like people on a new set. Like, you know,
Yeah.
when everybody's nervous and not knowing what to do,
Yeah.
you just go, "Do you mind grabbing me this?" And then everybody's like, "You motherfucker."
That's a great icebreaker.
Yeah. But like, jokes aside, I do think that like little things like that, moments where you can stop. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like, and maybe this is really unattractive to say, but I feel like 60% of the time I pretend to be an adult.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
Totally.
trying to be like, no, totally. Like, and then that's
Yeah.
why my tax return.
Yeah.
What am I even saying? Like,
Yeah.
most of the time I have no idea what I'm doing, and I think people sometimes love pretending they do. I hate it. I just like, I wish we could all be honest about like how we're feeling lost, how we have no idea what this is, and I miss the times when like you could just like, where instead of texting you like, hey man, like want to grab a coffee, it could just be like, dude, what are you doing? You want to come play? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So anyway, just to say, like, I feel like to find those moments where we can take the pressure out of it and allow ourselves to be fully ourselves in the form that we want to be, our wildest form, as opposed to this fabricated like business suit wearing fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
dude. Yeah. I feel like I'm a victim of that for sure. It's like I have to play the like I'm an entrepreneur business person role, and then I look how I look, which is not very professional most of the time. And I'll go to like the kids' schools and I see their parents and they're just very like buttoned up and like not super friendly. I'm so friendly. I just
Right.
wanna, like as a kid I was that kid. Like
Right.
my dad did this cool thing with me as a kid, and I see him do it with my son, and I do it with my son now. Where when you go to a playground to play, when you come back, hey, it's time to go, we gotta go. When my son runs back, I'll be like, hey, do you know that kid's name? And he'll be like, no. I'm like, okay, we'll go back and ask him what his name is.
love
Because
that.
if we run into each other again, you could play again, and you'll
Yeah.
remember his name, dude.
That's
And my
cool.
dad would have me do that all the time. So when I'm in places now as an adult, I just want to meet people. Like
Yeah.
I'm so interactive and just want to talk, but I also look like a bro. Like
Right.
I dress not professionally most of the time.
Yeah.
So I'm in gym clothes, like
Yeah.
coming from work or coming from a session or coming from this. But that like try to go to a networking situation or with those parents and be like, oh no, I'm a professional person, instead of just being like, hey, like what do you do for a living? Like,
Yeah.
do you want to draw? Like
Yeah.
let's hang out. Like,
I still
like-
think my favorite icebreaker of all time is, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
right.
stop the bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's it.
Everyone else likes to ask, like, what do you do? It's like, oh, man, we
Yeah.
talk about straight
Dude,
away, right
the-
away, right to what we do, dude.
talk about that, like, you know, with acting, like it's I feel like it's that on steroid. Like whenever you go to some of these like networking events, like fancy parties, like, and you know, inevitably like you talk about, oh
Yeah.
cool, you're an actor too, dope. Like like what are you working on? And like you,
Yeah.
sure, great. There are times you're currently shooting, amazing, but if you're not, and it's like one of those dry spells, and
Yeah.
like you tell them like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
and then they just move away. You're like, well, what the fuck? If I'm not,
still a person.
yeah, like and in LA, that mindset is on steroid because
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah,
trying to climb that freaking like ladder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that that's a really good point to just be able to. Yeah, I think that's the main takeaway from it. Take the pressure off.
Yeah, take the pressure off. And I think, like, I asked you, and I was thinking about some of my friends who are in, like, animation. Like, I have a lot of cool friends in animation. And I'll be like, hey, what'd you do yesterday? Like, after work. And a lot of times they're like, yeah, I just, like, drew for 2 hours. I was like, what? Yeah, I just drew, like, I'm like, from, like, an inspiration or what? And they're like, no, I just sat and I got my pencils out and just drew. And or I painted, like, I painted a painting. I'm like, you just painted a painting yesterday?
Right.
I'm like, man, I want to create shit too. Like, I should just, like, look at a time in my day where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to draw or like write a poem or something,
Right,
you know, like
right.
something random, but that's more creative and freeing than, okay, let me look at profit and loss sheets. All right, let's figure out the budget. How are we going to find this money? All right, like...
You know what? It's funny because, like, as we're saying this, I'm realizing that, like, we do it with other people. Like, if you have an animal, like a dog, you'll purposely carve out time in your day so that you can play and throw the ball with them and so they can have a little bit of fun. If you have a kid, you'll make sure that, like, if you had a busy day at work at nighttime, you come and then you'll sip on some tea with all the freaking bunnies and teddy bears that, like, are laying around the room. Like,
dude.
Like, we'll carve out that time so importantly, and yet for ourselves, we just kind of don't think that's a thing anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's like losing the magic. Like you're like, we're lost. We're all lost boys.
That's
we grew up.
That's my biggest fear in life, to lose that sort of like ability to tap into the inner child. I never want that. Like, it's like, I want to be Peter Pan, like my whole life kind of thing,
Totally.
Not in the Peter Pan syndrome kind of way, all that stuff. But like, there's that. And I also, like, as you were talking, I think it also kind of brought up an idea to me that a lot of the things that I know, for example, I do, I can almost always find an equivalent of it that's more playful and more fun. Like, for instance, I recently started getting into rope flow. You've probably seen me fucking swinging this rope around the gym lately. Mm-hmm. And that's been so fun to me. Like, there's no doubt, I understand, building muscle requires discipline and strength and effort. But then sometimes it gets a little old. Like, sometimes I'm a little bit like, okay, well, how many times can I put this up and down, like, during my day? Whereas, like, introducing something more fun and playful, like rope flow, where I'm just kind of like a kid swinging a thing around and figuring out how it moves and all that, and it does wonder for my body, decompression, all that stuff. It's been so helpful. Same with climbing. Yeah, it's still fun. I don't feel like I'm working out.
Right.
And I feel like there are so many things like that can just be tweaked slightly so things are fun. Like, cleaning the house. I hate mopping the floor. Yeah. But you put some good music on and, like, maybe you pop an edible or something. All of a sudden, it's a lot more bearable. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, I'm on a cruise ship. I'm a pirate. I've got a wooden leg and all that. Like, it's like finding these equivalents of things that allow you, I think, to have a little bit more ease in life as opposed to the facade of the adult all the time,
The facade is real.
Yeah. Should I read that quote?
Yeah, let's get it.
Let me see it. That Daily Stoic quote. What do we got today? We have Stoic quote of the day. All right. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Epictetus. How do we feel about that?
I like that one, dude. That's live what you are, like you don't really need to talk about it.
Actions speak louder than words.
Dude, I'm obsessed with with actions. This last 2 weeks, obsessed with actions.
Yeah.
So that's a great quote. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very much, I don't know if you feel that sometimes too. I think it might be my inner child that wants recognition sometimes, but when I do hard things, sometimes I want to tell you about it so that, like I can breathe a little bit, but at the end of the day, even though that could be necessary sometimes and feel good and important, nothing will speak louder than what you're about. Don't just be about it,
Yeah.
Don't just talk about it, be about it.
Be about it, yeah. I love it. Yeah, it's one of those things that I think about a lot is with reputation. Like, I want to be known for what I do, not what I say I'm going to do.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Very true.
Sweet.
That's it.
Man. All right, Warrior Poet Podcast. Josh.
Kesh.
Ryan's behind the camera. See you guys next time.
Oh, real quick. See you guys.
Later.